ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषु भिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहैतुकी। We are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, chapter number 60. So in the previous chapter there was a description of Bhagavan Shri Krishna going to Pragjyotispur and killing Bhaumasura, and he also released 16,000 princesses which have been captivated by Bhaumasura, and he brought them to Dwarka and married all of them. He also went to Indraloka to return the earrings of Indra's mother Aditi, which have been taken away by Bhaumasura. And in the end it was also shown that Satyabhama said we should take this Parijata tree. Then Indra got upset. Then there was a little bit of fight, and Finally, Indra, he realized his mistake, and Krishna brought the Parijata tree and planted in the courtyard of Satyabhama. So this chapter comes after that. So in this chapter there is a description of Krishna cutting some joke with Srimati Rukmani Devi, trying to upset her, and then there is a big talk by Sri Rukmani Devi. So that's what this chapter is about. So verse number 1, Sri Badarayani Ruvacha, Sri Sukdev Goswami, he said, Karichit Sukham Asinam Swatalpastham Jagadgurum Patim Pariyacharad Bhaishmi Vyajnena Sakhi Janaihi. So when Krishna was living in Dwarka in his family life, and he had all these queens and he had made palaces for all of them. In the previous chapter it was also described that he was with all the queens and every queen thought that he is with her only, but they did not know his game, that he is with everybody, and everybody thought that she is the fortunate one. So someday he was sitting on his bed, Swatalpastham, happily, Sukham Asinam, and he is called here as Jagadguru. So Krishna is Jagadguru. And Bhashmi, which is Rukmani, son of King Bhishma. So she was performing service to her husband Sri Krishna by fanning. So in those days there was no AC and there was no fan, electric fan. So you had to do personal service. In the olden days especially, I remember if some guest came, then we had to fan him. So this was service you had to do. So Vyajnena Sakhi Janai. And she was doing it along with her friends. So she was not the only one, but many assistants were there. So Sri Vishnath Chakravarti, he gives the summary of this chapter in one verse. So Krishna Vaka Peshni Pishta Hrita Karpuran Rukmini Sammohiya Ashvashitatam Pratyuche Shashti Tames Phutam. So in the 60th chapter there is a description that Krishna, he makes the heart of Rukmani, which is compared to camphor. So camphor is soft and it is fragrant. So he pounded it. He powdered her heart by his words. If you want to make powder something, you need a pestle. So he used his speech, because speech goes beyond everything else. Jahan na pahunche Ravi, wahan pahunche Kavi. So the words can reach where light cannot go. Sound can go right. So sound can also enter inside your heart. Sunlight cannot enter into the heart. It stays only on the skin. So therefore he says Krishna Vaka Peshani. Peshani means that pestle by which you pound things. So that is the Peshani. And by that you do Pishta. So making paste. In English you have paste. In Sanskrit you have Pishta. So he made paste out of his heart, her heart, by his words. That's the meaning. And Sammuhya Ashvasita. So she was bewildered, confused, disturbed. Then Krishna, he consoled him. Tam pratyuche. And she spoke to him. Because Rukmani also gave a big talk. So this is what is being described in this chapter. So Jagat Gurum Patimiti cha Paricharane Hetu. So he says that there are two reasons why he was doing service to Krishna. So number one, he is Jagat Guru. So you have to do service to Guru, or you have to take service from Guru. So he is Jagat Guru. So therefore she is doing seva, and also on top of that more personal, he is also husband. So therefore she is doing service. Then verse number 2, Yastu etal-līlaya vishvam srijati atyavatīśvaraha sahi jātah svasetunam gopi thāye yadudhvajaha. So now in this verse, Sri Sukadeva Goswami is describing about Sri Krishna that he is Aja. Aja means unborn. So Ajopi Sanavyatma Bhutanam Ishwaropi. Krishna himself says that he is Aja in Bhagavad Gita. So he says that although he is Aja, he is unborn, but Sahi Jata, but he took birth. So why he took birth? He says Svasetu Nam Gopithaya. So Gopithaya, Gopu Dhatu Rakshane, to protect. And protect what? The principles of dharma. So Setu Nam. Setu means Maryada, limit. So here the limit which has been set by him only, which is dharma. Dharmam to Sakshat Bhagavad Pranitam. So now we do Rushya, that dharma is that which is propagated directly by Bhagavan himself. So he also comes to protect it. Dharma sansthapanartha sambhavami yuga yuga. So because people in general, unless they are educated, they have a natural tendency to flout the principles of dharma. Because people here in the material world, they are under the influence of avidya, ignorance. And because of ignorance, they identify with the physical body and the mind. And because they identify with it, then all the problems come from that, raga and dvesha. So then this duality comes. Although this world is also manifestation of Bhagavan, but they see it as an object of their enjoyment. And sense enjoyment does not have any limit. Mahasano mahapapma vidhyena mihevairanam. So it is just like pouring fuel into the fire. It is never going to be extinguished. So like that, the senses are never satiated by sense pleasure. For some time they become tired, but then you take rest and they come back again. And because there is no limit, there is no end, then whoever is more powerful exploits the weaker person. So therefore there is need for dharma. If dharma is not there, then there is complete chaos, and the big fish will eat the small fish, and then the bigger will eat the big one. So this will go on. So therefore Bhagavan has to come himself to establish dharma, because only he can do that. Human beings will not do, because they are only breaking the setu. They are only flouting the principles of dharma. So satu etad līlaya vishvam srijati atti avati ishvara. So by his lila, by his pleasure, he creates this world. Srijati, he also maintains it. then he also destroys it. So that is his play. That's his swabhav. So he just does it just naturally. It's not that he has to make some plan for it or anything. It just flows from him. That is the meaning of Lila. So Lila means aprayashena, without any effort. When you have to do karma, some energy, some planning, some knowledge, but he does everything as an act of play. Anayas, with effortless. It also means, Lila also means that there is no specific purpose that he wants to achieve from that. He does it also for the Jivas so that they can learn and become liberated from this bondage. So that's the intention behind it. So commentary by Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti ji. Vakshamane Rukminyaha प्रेम सेवा रस भंजने तस्य केवलम विनोद एव हेतु. So he says that what is going to be described here in this chapter, that he is going to destroy the happiness of Rukmani which he is deriving by doing seva. There is something called seva ras. So that is the topmost rasa. Topmost rasa is the rasa of seva, prem seva, not forced seva. That you are given service and you don't want to do it, but okay, I have to do because I have been asked. So that is not rasa, that is virasa. So this is prem seva rasa. This is the highest type of rasa. And in this rasa also, Krishna is putting his foot, so to say. Why? Because he wants to bring more rasa out of that. And just as in the sloka it is said that he creates Leelaya, so here he says that this also is doing just his Leela. So therefore he says, Kevalam Vinoda Eva Hetu. That the only reason for him to do this is Vinoda. Vinoda means joy, pleasure, like joking. So Nud Prerna. Vinoda also means without water. Right? Uda means water, Vina Uda, Vinoda. One is that you take water and you throw. So this is dry play. So keval Vinoda eva hetu. Vastutastu nanya iti nirdarshanaartham visvasishti adairapi vinoda hetukatvam abhivyanjati. And he says that in reality he has no hetu for anything. Means he doesn't have any specific reason except vinod. So he is Vinod Vihari. So he just does everything just for sake of pleasure, fun. He is on vacation and he is just enjoying. So he says, therefore, to give that an example, that is the reason he brought this. Otherwise, why is he bringing that he creates, he destroys, he maintains by Leela? What is the suddenly context of that statement here? Right? So this is Sukadeva Goswami is indicating that he does things, so just as he creates, he is also playing in his creation.
So he's saying that this Srijati, Ati and Avati this is also Vinod Lila of Bhagavan.
Yeah. Because he has Shakti. So he plays with his Shakti. So that's why he says this is the Nidarshana. Nidarshana means like you want to give example. So he says this is an example for what is being said later on. That he does the same thing here. So Vishwa Srishtyader-api Vinod Hetukatvam Abhivyanjati. So he is implying that indirectly, right? Vyanjana vritti, to indicate that. Sets an indicator. Yastu etaditi. Swasetunam dharmadi maryadanam gopithaya palanaya. Swapriyajan prema maryada ya strotnam na tasya abhipsitam kintu tena tadridhikarnam eveti bhava. So then, if he is coming here to protect dharma or the limits of dharma which he has established, so why is he is going to disturb Rukmani Devi? So he says dharmadi maryadanam gopithaya palanaya, to protect them, which also is that taswapriyajan prema maryada trotnam na tasya vishnu. So he is taking this verse as an implication of what Krishna is going to do to Rukmani. Means this sloka is implying the motive behind Krishna's action. Otherwise it looks, why is he doing that to her? She is doing seva, she is happy, and then he starts speaking, which disturbs her. So that's why this verse comes here. This is a prelude to what is coming up. So he said, just as the sloka says that he protects dharma, so his intention is also not to disturb Rukmani, although it looks like that. Right? So he says, Maryada trotnam na tasya abhipsitam. It is not his intention to jump over the principles of prema, Maryada, but to make it more firm. Dridhikaranam eva iti bhava. That is the sense of this verse. So now in the upcoming verses he shows the situation like if you have a movie, so you also make the background and describe how the room is, how the people are, how they are dressed, and then the dialogue. So it's something like that. So tasmin antar grihe bhrajan mukta dama vilambinaha virajite vitanena deepa mani mayairapi mallika dama bhi pushpair dvirepa kulanadite jalarandhra pravishtaischa gobhischandramasho malaihi parijatavana moda vayunodyanashalina dhūpairaguru jairajan jalarandhra vinirgataihi paya fena nibhe shubhre pariyanke kashiputtame upatasthe sukha asinam jagatam ishwaram patim बालव्यजनम आदाय रत्नदंडम सखी करात तेन विजयती देवी उपाशां चक्रे ईश्वरम. So upasham chakre ishwaram, that is the main statement. All these verses go together. So Devi upashan chakre ishwaram upashan chakre. That Devi Rukmani, which was mentioned above. So she was doing upasana or service to Ishvara, that is Sri Krishna. So Tena Vijayati, she was fanning him, and Ratnadandam Sakhi Karat, Bala Vajanam Adaya. So before that, some other Sakhi, some other assistant of Rukmani, she was fanning him, fanning Krishna, and she took it from him and started fanning. And the other verses are describing Krishna, how he is situated in the room and the place. So tasmin antar grihe bhrajan mukta dama vilambina virajite vitanena deepamani ganairati. So Krishna was in the inner quarters, and the place was decorated with mukta dama vilambina, various types of pearls hanging, and vitanas, canopy, deepamani. There were lamps, but not lamps which are giving light by electricity, but deepamani. So the gems were acting like lamp. So they don't need any electricity or oil. Just gems which act like lamp at night, they give light. So deepamani mayerapi. And mallika damibhi pushpair dvire fakula nadite. There were garlands made from mallika flowers, and they were very fragrant. Mallika flowers have nice fragrance, so fragrant that dvirefa means the bees were humming around there. And jalarandhra pravishtaischa gobhis chandra masomalai. And there were those windows, lattice windows, and from that the moonlight was entering inside, and it was very pure because there is no pollution, especially in the sea. It's pure, so the moonlight was coming. So that means it was evening time, not daytime, because it says Chandramasa Amalai. And Parijata Vana Amoda Vayu Na Udyana Shalina. And there was the forest of Parijata trees. So Parijata flower also has very nice fragrance, small flower. So the air was bringing the amoda, the fragrance from the forest of Parijata flowers, which was in the Udyana. And there was also the aguru, the dhoop. What is dhoop in English? Incense, but not the incense which you see. So this is aguru. So you burn this, put it on the fire, and then it gives smoke, which is also. So dhupair aguru jai rajan jalarandhra vinirgate. And this aguru dhoop smoke was going outside. So this jalarandhra, the moonlight is coming inside through the lattice windows, and the aguru smoke is going outside. So they are meeting each other and saying, hello, you can come inside, I am going out. So I give you some space. So they are having a dialogue with each other at the window talk. Then paya fena nibhe shubhre paryanke kashiputtame upataste sukha asinam jagatam ishwaram pati. And Sri Krishna, he is sitting on the cot, paryanka, and the paryanka has a very nice bed seat which is white in color like the foam of the milk. Payafena nibhe shubhram. So Kashipu Uttame, nice pillows are there. Kashipu, you know the word Hiranya Kashipu. So this is the Kashipu. So mattress and white sheet on top of that, and he's happily situated on it. Upataste sukhasinam. He's sitting, he's not lying down. And Jagtam Ishwaram Patim Bal Vyajanam Adaya Ratnadandam Sakhi Karat. And then Rukmani sees fanning him by taking the Vyajana, the fan, from the hand of the Sakhi, Sakhi Karat. So the commentary is not much on this. So tasyaha prema seva sukhasya sarvani eva upkarnani purnani iti darshaitum mandiram varnayati tasminiti tribhi. So in the three slokas, that is 3, 4 and 5, what is being described here is that Sri Rukmani has got all the paraphernalia for performing seva to Sri Krishna and giving pleasure to him and deriving pleasure of doing seva. So prem seva sukhasya sarvani eva upkarnani purnani. So everything is what is needed and incomplete, in perfect form. So to describe that, to show that, this description of the house tasmin antargrihe is being given here in 3 verses. Bhrajan mukta damanam vilambaha lambamana gucha santi yasminiti. So there this very brilliant, illustrious Muktadam, means this made like not garland but rows of pearls strung on the thread, and they're very brilliant looking, hanging lambamana gucha santi, made from the groups of them. Tena vitanena chandratapena virajite. And then there is this canopy from which these are hanging. Chandratapa means moonlight. So this moonlight is reflecting into that. Trityantanam virajitaiti anena anuvaya. So he says that all the words in these 3 slokas which are ending in Tritiya Vibhakti, they all are to be related to the word virajite, that appearing nice. Arunair gorbhiriti chandramasa uday ragamahi kranai. And then says that there are this Aruna Gobhi. Go means, go also means the rays. So here Gaj gachati iti go, come from gam dhatu, which goes, the rays also go. So therefore they are called go. So they are pinkish in color, like when the moon or sun they are rising, then their color is not whitish but more like pinkish or reddish. So that type Aruna. Aruna Gobhiriti Chandramasa Uday Ragamai Karnai. So that shows that the moon was just rising. Pravishadbhi Agurvai Dhupaischa Nirgachatbhi. So the moonlight is coming inside and the incense smoke is going outside. Kashiputtame Shainiyeshu Sreshte. And Kashiputta means the best of the mattresses. So that's where he is sitting and Sri Rukmani Devi is fanning him. So more description of now Srimati Rukmani Devi. Sopachyutam Kvañayanti maninupurabhyam rejenguluya valaya vyanjanagrahasta vastranta godha kuch kumkum shonahara bhasavitam nitambadhrityaya parardha kancha. So its dress, her dress is being described, how she appeared, ornaments. So Upachyutam, so she is near to Krishna. And Kvañayanti mani nupurabhyam. And because she is moving and she is having the nupura, nupura is this anklet, and mani, she also has the valaya and earrings, what you call rings on the finger, anguliya valaya vyajana agrahasta. So when she is moving, then her anklets, they are making sound, and the beautiful rings on the fingers and the valayas, what you call bangles, so they are also shining because they have a lot of gems in them. And vyajanagra hasta, and she is holding the fan in the hand. That's how she is standing there next to him. And vastranta gudha kuch kumkuma shonahara bhasa. So she has got necklace in her neck, and the necklace is reddish in color. Why? Because the kumkum from her breast is reflecting in that, which are covered by her dress. And nitamba dhrityacha parardha kancha. And she has a kanchi. Kanchi means belt on her waist, and this belt is very expensive. Pararghya means costly, because a lot of gems in that. So upachyutam achyutasya samipe sa. So upachyutam means that she is very close to Achyuta Sri Krishna. Mani nupurabhyam reje Kvañayanti. Arthan mani nupurav kanchim cha atya ayata vyajana chalanena sarvanga spandanat swanayanti tirtha. So she is appearing beautiful with her gems in the nupura, in the anklets, and they are making sound. So the meaning is that because she is moving the fan with a long circle, ati ayata vajnena, not slowly but taking it, and therefore this movement is making the ornaments bring out that sound. Sarvanga spandanat swanayanti, because all her body is moving, because she is making the fan go in a big area. Then you get a lot of air. Anguliya valaya vyajnani agrahaste yasya. And in the hand which is in the front, so there is, the fan is there, the bangles are there, and rings are there, so they are all shining. Vastrantena shatikanchalene gudho gupti kritau sakanchikau yau tayo. And her blouse, which is above the breast, is covered by her sari, so they are covered. Kuchau kunkumena shonasya harasya bhasa pararghya pararghamulya. And the kumkuma, the kumkum from the breast is reflecting in the necklace. And pararghya parardh Mulyaya Kancha. So Kanchi belt is very expensive. Tam Rupinim Shriyamananya Gatim Nirikshya Ya Līlaya Dhrittano Anurupa Rupa Pritah Smayan Alak Kundala Niska Kantha Vaktraula Smita Sudham Harirava Bhase. So Smita Sudham Hari Abhabhase. So Krishna, he spoke to her. And then she is being described here, that Tam Rupinim. So she is very beautiful. Shriyam, she is goddess of fortune. Ananya Gatim Niriksha, seeing that she is completely devoted to him. Ya Līlaya Dhrita Tanoranu Rupa Rupa. And she has manifested her form, which is very much matching with the form of Krishna. So Anurupa Rupa. So Krishna has his Rupa and Lakshmi's, Rukmani's form is matching. That's why when Krishna went to abduct her, remember, the people of the city, when they looked at him, that they say the Asya Bharya Bhavitum Arhati, that she deserves to be wife of him only. It means they are good match. So that is Anurupa Rupa. Matching is very important. They have matching sites, right? So this is what is Anurupa Rupa, means matching. So Dhrita Tanor Anurupa Rupa. Because Lakshmi expands just as Krishna expands, or he takes different forms, as Rama, as Vamanadev, as Nrsimhadev, then Lakshmi also correspondingly matches the form as his wife. So that is the significance here. So Pritah Smayana Alaka Kundala Niska Kantha Vaktra Ullasata Smita Sudham. So this long samas. So Krishna was very pleased by her. And the outcome of being pleased is that he will speak harsh words. So people think that when somebody is pleased, then they will only give you chocolate. But it is not necessary. That's why Krishna says, Naham tu sakhyo bhajto pijantam bhajame amisham anuvritta vrittaye. He says, I don't always reciprocate like that. Sometimes I don't reciprocate to increase their prema. So that's what he is doing here. So he is prita, he is satisfied, he is pleased. And Srimati Rukmani is Smayana Alaka Kundala. So he was smiling himself, Smayana. And Alaka Kundala Niska Kantha Vaktra Ullasita Smita Sudham. So she is also smiling because Krishna is happy, she is happy. And her face was very bright, Ullasat Vaktra. And she had a Nishka Kantha. Nishka means gold. So she had a nice golden, right, like Janu is having. And Alaka Kundala. And she had earrings and the alaka, the curly hair. So her face is ullasita, her face is looking beautiful from top, is being beautified by the locks of curly hair and the earrings. From below, it is being beautified by the necklace. So that's what it says, that Kundala Niska Kantha Vaktra Ullasita, and then there is a beautiful smile. And to her, Sri Krishna Abhabhase. not only babhase, but avabhase. That some problematic statement he will make.
This Prita Smayan is for Krishna or for Rukmini? Prita Smayan.
No, Smayan is for Krishna. Rukmani is Smita Sudham. Prita Smayan Hari. Yeah. Tam nirikshya harirabhavase iti anvaya. So, seeing her, Krishna spoke. This is how the sentence is. Rupinim, she is called Rupini. So, Shriyam Vaikuntasthayaha Shriya Sakashadapi Bahu Saundaryavati Bhumni Matvarthiyeti. So, she is called Rupini. Rupini means one who has Rupa. Rupa here means beauty. So, on the word Rupa, Nini Pratyaya is applied in the sense of Matup. And Matup, Bhumaninda Prasansasu, Nitya Yogayati Sayani, Sambandhayati, Sambandhe Asti Vivakshayam Bhavanti Matupadaya. Matup is applied in different sense. So he says here it has been applied in the sense of Bhuma. Bhuma means a lot. So Bhume Nalpe Sukham Asti Yadvai Bhuma Tat Sukham. Upanishad says what is great, big, that's where happiness is. Happiness is not in small little thing, which human beings are trying to get from little things. Happiness is from the big Vishnu. So here he says Bhumni Matvarthiya in the sense of greatness, means her beauty is very great. That's what Rupini means here. And Tatra Hetu, why she is so beautiful? Says Līlaya Dhrita Tanor Anurupa Rupa. Because she has manifested her form matching with Krishna's beauty. As it is said, Devatve Deva Rupa Sa Manushatve Cha Manushi Vishnur Dehanurupa Vai Karoti Esham Karoti Eshatmatanu Atmanastanum. So this is a sloka from Vishnu Purana, iti Parasharokte, that ultimately Krishna is there and Srimati Radha is there. Radha is the original Lakshmi. So she expands. When Krishna becomes Deva, she becomes Devi. When Krishna becomes human being, she becomes also human being. So Vishnur Anurupa, Deha Anurupa Vai Karoti Atmanastanu. So she also manifests her form corresponding to the form of Sri Krishna or Vishnu. So Vaikunthanathaadapi adhik saundaryavataha Krishnasya kanta saapi tatratya sriyo api adhik saundaryavati ityartha. So just as Sri Krishna, he is more beautiful than the Lord of Vaikuntha. So therefore, she, Rukmani, also is more beautiful than the Lakshmi of Vaikuntha. Smayan smayamane iti. So Krishna is smiling. So why is that? Sarva prakarena mad anurupayaha apyasyaha swasya ananurupatvam yuktva pradarshya parihasami. So why is he smiling? When Krishna smiles, better be alert. He doesn't smile for nothing. Right? So sanyorubhyo madhye Krishna visidantam idam vacha. So Krishna spoke smilingly, right? Smiling, so like smiling. So when he's smiling means something is cooking inside. So Krishna says that, or Krishna is thinking like this, and the commentator says that sarva prakarena mad anurupaya api asya. He says that although she is completely matching to my mood, my form, my personality, but swasya ananurupam tvam yuktva pradarshya parihasami. But I am going to joke with her by logically trying to prove that you are not a match. Okay. Although when we read, I don't know why he's saying, he is going to say that he is not a match for her. That's how he is going to speak. But commentator says swasya ananurupatvam. It would have been better if it is swasya means his own, but he says swasya ananurupatvam yuktva pradarsha. Or is trying to say that Krishna will show that he is not anurup to her. That's the meaning. Swasya ananurupatvam. So tata, now this tateyam doesn't make any sense. Tadeyam, tada, yam kim vadet. Then what is she going to speak? If I tell her that I am not suitable to you, then what she will say? This is what he wanted to hear. Tadaha madhya shinwani iti bhava. That's what I want to hear today. This is the sense. So that is the meaning of smayana. Alkahi kundalabhyam niska alankrita kanthena cha chaturdikshu shobhite vaktre ullasanti smit sudha yasya tam. So Sri Rukmani's nectar of smile was spreading in all directions. She was so beautiful, and in all around the smile was beautifying everything. So she had the lock of hair, 2 earrings, then the necklace in her neck, and in all directions the face was spreading the beauty of her smile. And to such smiling, beautiful lady, Krishna will speak. So let's not spoil that today. We can do that tomorrow. Okay, if anybody has any question to ask. All right. Okay.
In many places, this myth or smile is considered, it's written along with Sudha. So, what is the implied or deep meaning जो smile, स्मित को सुधा के साथ अमृत के साथ compare करते हैं?
Now, what else is there in life? You don't want to see smiling people?
No, that's it.
So that is.
Why is it compared to Amrit or Sudha?
Because that gives life. They say that if you smile every day, they do hasya yoga, right? So that reduces your stress, it increases your life. And if you are sad and unhappy, then your lifespan goes down. So that is the Sudha. Purushottam Prabhu.
I have a question about Parijata. I thought Parijata plant was only planted in Satyabhama's palace. But here she says there is a Amud is coming from Parijata when Rukmani was there. So is it Parijata also was planted there, or is it nearby place, or what is it?
Well, Parijata was brought to everybody. That's, I think Jiva Goswami was saying something like that. In which sloka comes this Parijata? Do you know the sloka number?
5.
5.
Yes.
Okay, I think he says like that. I read somewhere. Anyway, somewhere Jiva Goswami says that everybody had that.
Oh, okay, thank you.
The main one was given to Satyabhama. Then others got also. Yeah, that's where he's saying. What he's saying is that one shabda sarvasam pat mahishinam griheshu indrena purvam prasthapitasya ekekasya parijatasya vrikshai yastu mukhya moola chandan vrikshvat mukhya moola parijata vriksha pavana sambandhat अन्य vrikshate bhavanti satuna prashita. So it seems that all other queens, they had already got one parijata, but the mool, the original one, because originally there was only one parijata which came from the ocean, churning of the ocean, right? From that many came afterwards. From one tree you get many trees. So that original one was brought to Satyabhama.